All right, Lauren, gonna go live. All right. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Jackie. Now, I know today may not be a day off for everybody, so it may be a small, intimate group today, but I wanted to make sure that I got the time to put month 7 up. Hi, Katie Crafts. Month 7 of Color Vortex. It's important to make sure I got that done, and with everything moving so quickly, I wasn't sure when I was going to be able to do that. So having today as a holiday worked out perfectly. Good morning, Stephanie and Catherine. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hi, Jeannie. Yeah, this is, I had not ever been to a Buc-ee's before. So when my son and I made the trip to Oklahoma City, we stopped at a couple of them because it was a wild experience. And if you've never been to a Buc-ee's, I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, there's a beef jerky bar. Crazy. Hey, Darlene. Happy Veterans Day. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Terry. Shelly, I've got some information to share with you that I won't do on a live, but I will send you an email today to give you some details about the things we were talking about after the cotton cuts. So sorry to be all cryptic to everybody else. I love to sew. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Veterans Day. Yes, I'd like to share exactly what Darlene was saying. It today is the government holiday observance of Veterans Day, since it lands on a Saturday. So that's why I have today off, and why I am excited to be here to sew up month 7 of Color Vortex. It feels like it's been forever since I have done anything with Color Vortex, and I'm excited to be there, be in that, and doing that again. Yeah, Buc-ee's are insane. They are so huge. So they make Wawa is really big around here. Sheets is really big. Sheets started off in Pennsylvania. I'd known about Sheets before anybody down in Maryland had known about it because my mom's from Pennsylvania. And we used to go there and get candy all the time. It was within walking distance of my grandparents' house. Um, so knew about Sheets. Wawa is very big here in Maryland. 7-Eleven, of course, but I mean, 7-Eleven to a Buc-ee's is like, there's no comparison. But Buc-ee's puts them all to shame. They are huge. They are like a travel destination. And it's such good barbecue. I had a sandwich of brisket. Oh, it was so good. it was yeah, it was a lot of fun to go to a Buc-ee's. That was pretty wild. Uh, it was an experience. They had, you know, t-shirts, yeah, but there were like literal, like, legitimate clothing sections. It was cool. All right. So I just pulled off. I have a stack of here, a stack of the blocks. Oop, it would help if I was actually giving you the overhead view. Let me do that. Boop. There we go. So I just have a stack of all of them kind of pre-done. There's a couple of pieces I didn't get pre-done in time, so if I get to those, we'll work on that together, getting the fabrics cut. But I'm just starting with whichever one was on the top, which is C6. So we're working, I think, C5, C6, D5, D6 today, which is greens and oranges, like deep fall colors, which I feel like is very fitting for, it is a rainy, dreary, ooky pooky day outside. So it feels very much like fall. Hi, Letitia, how are you? I may have talked about this before, but when I pin my fabrics to my block, it's always 1 through whatever the highest number is, so that when I get to putting them together, they're in the same order every time. And let's see, 1 is up here. When they're larger pieces like that, you might want to throw a pin in just to hold it in place. You don't have to. I don't often, but it's certainly something you could do to help with the flopping fabric all over the place. Yeah, these are like deep earthy greens. I like these. Where'd my card go? Here we go. Just fold this back to better see where I'm going to place my fabric. Does anybody have fun plans for this weekend? Are all areas now of the U.S. have all the leaves changed? Is that not a thing anymore for folks to be able to go out? I know around here, Shenandoah, the drive, we've all peaked. We're past peak now. Almost gonna lose my thread. Oh, good to hear you're doing good. I just proved why I usually don't use pins and stabbed my thumb. Accident prone. Hey Pat, how are you doing? Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up a little bit closer to 1/4 inch. Excited to see everyone. I wasn't sure how many folks would be able to join this morning. Past peak in Colorado. So many leaves still falling. Oh, and Stephanie's going to be getting snow flurries tomorrow. You'd said earlier this week that you'd had like a brief morning of some snow, and you're going to get more, and all the rest of the leaves will fall. Yeah. We have, in my neighborhood, so what I can see from my back window, we have a lot of evergreen trees, pines and other types of evergreens. And so it stays a pretty nice green in my backyard view, which is nice. It makes me happy. And when it snows on them, gorgeous. With this month, this is month 7 of Color Vortex. I didn't find any of the colors to be really close or difficult for directionality of where you might be placing the papers to cut. Everything was pretty abundant in the types of cuts that they gave us for this month. So that's always good. I think it was last month or the month before, a couple of the colors were tight and needed to watch which direction you were putting the piece of paper when you were going to cut those. But this month is pretty good. Didn't have any issues. There we go. So I was thinking today is definitely like a hearty stew type of weather, or like what I'm going to do is go get some ramen. So what for a rainy day, not that it may not be raining where you're at, but because I can see it today here, it's got me thinking a good rainy day kind of weather foods, and ramen is where I'm headed for lunch today. Ingrid, I think you were talking about chicken noodle soup. That's always good. Doesn't even have to be rainy and dreary. I'm always down for some chicken noodle soup. Good beef and barley would be good right now too. Stick to your bones kind of stuff. Some old sayings you can wonder how did they come up with that? What does that even mean? But stick to your bones and referencing to a food, that's a visualization I can easily put to the kind of food that does that. Stew, pot roast, chili. Oh, chili would be good too. Ooh, maybe Sunday will be a chili day for football. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. Technical difficulties. Oh, I didn't put this on, goofball. And set my machine up. Because, I gotta be careful with Mr. Bass Drop. And so I didn't pull the extension arm piece up, and I just freaked out my, there we go, machine. Speaking of Mr. Bass Drop, hello, sir. I don't know if anybody can see you. You're gonna jump up here? Yeah. Are you gonna dump all of my hard work onto the ground? Potentially. All right. Rethread. No reason for you to be paying any attention to what's happening. Ooh, veggie lasagna. Potato soup in the crock pot. Ooh. Oh, I like a good potato and cheese soup too. Ooh, now I'm hungry. Oh, wrong way. Sorry about that, folks. Just a little redo. I'm going to do a quick test stitch 2. Make sure we're all good. Here's a little scrap I had. Ooh, beef stroganoff. It's so true. Cats and quilt projects. It's a perfect combination. All right, we seem to be all systems go. Excellent. No harm, no foul. Hi, sir. Can you move your paw so I can get this back up? Appreciate it. Let's start down on this end. You have to do it too, Ingrid. Yeah. No desire to go through that again. I saw a picture from in the memories of like Time Hop or in Facebook, a picture from last year of Bass Drop, and he was a thicker cat last year before deciding to try to add thread to his diet. It was pretty wild. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, just don't get your nose in the iron there, kid. Yeah. I think I'm moving around too much for him. He's offended. Oh, he's gonna knock down the camera. Nope. All right. Just had breakfast and ready for lunch. Katie, I agree. Oh, Pat, you're allergic to cats. Oh. Alright. Next color. I am not a very big breakfast person. I rarely really eat anything for breakfast. But a good brunch. Whoa. Sadie. Somebody's at the door. Who's at the door? Sorry. You're gonna hear the dogs be very upset. Wasn't expecting anybody today. May have been like oh, well, I guess that's not true. I'm expecting cat food from Chewy. So, I guess it could have been a Chewy delivery. I don't usually ring the doorbell, though. Dogs are being so good. Not too much noise. Yep, Chewy delivery. Thanks, Lauren. pictures. Yeah, I guess so. You never know what's going to happen on a live. Oh, Jackie, 7, yep. We had the family cat. It was actually the first pet we adopted after we moved up here we're in Frederick. It was the first pet we adopted once the kids, it was just me and the kids, and we adopted an orange tabby girl. Her name was Minnie, even though she was a maxie. And she was the doggest cat ever. She came when you called her. She loved a good tummy rub. And it's she's been gone for 3 years, 4 years. Yeah, and it still sucks. Still love thinking about her though, but I don't think it's something that you ever stop missing, even though we've got five other cats in the house now, each with their own personalities. Minnie was something else. Oh, that's true, Ingrid. I hadn't thought about that. They didn't want the box to get wet out in the rain. Although, how do they know we were here? They're just playing the odds. Ooh, I am getting today from Amazon at some point. It says delivered by 10 p.m. That's probably not going to happen. It'll probably be here early. But I ordered the, oh, no, let's see if I can do this. Oh, here we go. I ordered box 3 of the Quilt Builder card deck. Very excited. So I'm excited. I'll get that today and I'll open it up. Maybe I'll do a little video on it, opening it up and taking a look at the different blocks they have in it, because it's brand new. So I'm excited about that. Complete like 40 new, not in box 1, not in box 2, 40 new blocks to take a look at. And from what I saw on the like little cover, they look more complicated. They look a little more in depth. So we'll see. Didn't look like there were as many that would lend themselves to a two-color quilt. Might have to come up with a different kind of sew along using those for next year. I also started playing around with creating my second FPP pattern last night, and I was doing that on Procreate, which is a Apple. I think it's on the Apple. I don't know that it's Android, but on my iPad, it was the digital drawing app that I had downloaded during the pandemic when I thought I was going to become a, world famous digital artist, creating all kinds of logos and things for major companies. Abby's 18 or 19. That is adorable. She is a wizened old lady. Oh, neat, Jackie. That's awesome. So you have 2 and 3 now. I like how just easily accessible those boxes are. Like, I don't know. Like, I have plenty of different things that have different blocks in them and different stars and different all those things. But I just like the boxes. They're so fun. Oh, I left my little official legit kits square your block ruler. I left it upstairs because I'm working on the Kraken upstairs. So that is upstairs, but that's okay because you don't need that to square up your blocks. It's just a fun have, and the fact that it was handed to me right into my little hands from Mike Odell himself makes it kind of cool. Oh, Jackie, so neat. I hadn't thought about that. Oh, that's so cool. Making them, using those, the block deck to come up with ideas for making quilt cards. I love that. Creative bunch. All right, so that is C6. All finished up. Let's pull her over a little bit more this way. Not trimmed yet, but all pieces together, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next one so that we can trim them at the same time. Let's see what this one is. This one is C5. All right. I am going to go ahead and do this for all of them. Didn't have that done beforehand. Something I usually like to have done beforehand. So I'll do it now. I'm going to be working on the 4S collaboration blocks later today. Do I have them over here? Yeah, I'll show them to you. Ooh, I'll show you. I got my little promotional, not binder, but my promotional, well, I guess it is a binder. A 3-ring binder ready for Flamingo for classes. So I get to walk into a quilt shop with this guy and wow them with the little one block wonder that is a part of the bigger flamingos, legit flamingos. And then I just have like the different, like to show you what you have left over after you do the cutting. So I'm excited about this as a marketing tool as I walk into places. And I'm going to do that for this bit of flamingo. There's an eye of the tiger. The Jackie, the one that we're working on, the building blocks, I'll do that for the promotional binder for that as well, which will be fun. It'll look a little different because that's a 4-block. But I'll have a binder for that to take into class or shops and at guilds and things like that. Oh, but that was a neat way to still like stretch your quilting mind with different quilt blocks and use them in a different way. That's very cool, Jackie. I love that. All right. So piece 1 is down here at the bottom. Am I showing that well? Down here at the bottom is piece 1. Get that lined up. Piece 2. We'll go here, which is a cool bright orange. Make sure piece 1 is still lined up because I didn't pin this time. Again, that's totally up to you if you want to pin or not pin. But you do want to double check, make sure everything is laying correctly. So if you don't pin, your fabric isn't moving. This back a little bit. Oh, I also wanted to show you guys the 4S. I haven't really been able to do much more. I may have finished another block of 4S since the last time I said it or talked about it. Can't really remember. I need to bring that up higher. Sorry about that. Need to be paying attention to where the camera is. There. All right, 4S. So the 4S collaboration has turned into, well, it's still the 4S collaboration, but it's turned into a Christmas layout. So I have the different Art Deco tiles with red and green. Reds are in the middle. Greens are on the outside. And I'm very, very proud of how they're turning out and very excited. It's gonna end up pretty gorgeous. And there are setting triangles that are going to go along the sides, and they have some opportunities for some color for the red and the green. And I think I'm going to flip the layout where it'll be green in the center and red on the outsides for the setting triangles. And I'll try that out as I get closer to having enough of these to at least make a wall hanging. A good sized lap, maybe, a lap quilt, and see if I like that setup. But I think they're beautiful. It's so cool. And the next block or pattern, because I want it to be more than just a block, the next pattern I'm working up is in Art Deco too, because I'm just kind of in love with the look of it right now. So that'll be my, after ramen, that'll be what I work on today. Alright, piece 3. Move this up so you can see. I'm going to pull back this paper from where it's ditched into. There we go. And piece 3 is this nice green, that's like a dark sage. Oh, it looks much darker in the camera than it looks here in real life. It's like a deep sage in real life, I think. To me, that's what it looks like. It looks much darker on the camera. Just do it this way, so I don't have to play with the fabric or the paper. Nope, everything's moving. Ah, sorry about that. Lay it back out again. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes you just gotta fiddle with it. Thanks, Shelly. Thanks, Ingrid. I love to sew. Shannon, do you know when the legit Santas are going out by any chance? I feel like I just read an email about that. November 15th feels right. There are a couple of things that I'm waiting on. But I think November 15th is when the Santa, the legit kits and Pixel Quilts collaboration, where it's not FPP, it is the Pixel kind of like Minecraft style. I think it was the 15th. I will go back and take a look at the email and make sure. I wonder if I can do that right now. Where do I put my phone? Let's see. Ooh, sorry that I'm looking down, but I want to see if I can figure this out. On or before November 13th. So, on or before the 13th. So, close. It was close. Even earlier. So, in just a couple of days, it'll start shipping out. If you don't get your shipping notice by the end of next week, you can shoot me an email. I'll let you know. I'll check in on what's happening. Yep, that's okay. That's the email. That was the, yep. Oh, you emailed them too. Okay. Well, I wonder if they were getting some questions, and then that's why they sent out an email, which might have just been to the instructors. Now that I'm thinking about it, potential there. I'm excited about that. That one's going to be neat. And I saw on her Instagram that she's already working on her next pattern to release, which is super cool because I've enjoyed following her career. I saw her first because of her Post Malone quilt top that she'd done, and then she did Billie Eilish, and then she did like a bunch of cool people. Uh-oh, did I? No, we're good. I think we're good. I might have cut that close, so I may not cut that part. I'll have to give a look. May have cut the green too close. Or like, I may have done this fold too close, but we're about to see. If I did, it is not the end of the world, and I'll show you how I'll fix it. Sure thing. Happy to help out. I know it was a weird, like, departure from FPP for legit kits, but they're really good friends with Pixel Quilts, and I thought it was a pretty cool collaboration that they decided to do. Did I yeah, okay, so good. I was able to correctly cover that little seam. So I can trim this back. What I was talking about right here, where the two greens come together with the yellow and the orange. The darker green, I was close to, oh, cat, close to where it flipped. Oh, cat, how did you think that was going to go? So what I might have ended up with was, you would have seen, you would have seen like the fold over and then the seam allowance piece of the same color. So it could have ended up like that if it had gone horribly wrong. But we worked it out okay. I gotta fill this up. Oh, your Saves is shipping today. I'm so excited. Got enough. Might have to refill my refill. The jug is right down there though, so we'll see. I'm excited that you got that email. I don't, with everything that I have planned for November, I don't know how I'm going to work trying to do that Pixel Santa in. Maybe that can become a part of Vlogmas. I can't promise anything. There's so much going on. But we'll see, at least a couple of sections. Maybe we'll make it into Vlogmas. But I see that quilt for me is a 2024 Christmas finish. I know she said it was, like, the sections are large enough that it could be a weekend finish quilt, but I am just not the fastest sewist in the world, so I don't think that will hold true for me personally. Not that that's a bad thing, I just don't think it would hold true for me. Plus, I get bored quickly, so which is another reason why I can't finish things as quickly as other folks, because then I lose interest and have to go do something else. Jackie, I have used, well, not Quilter's Grid, but Ten Sisters, their panels. I have used those and love them. I have a personal quilt that I want to make, a mushroom quilt done pixels, big old mushroom done of all the different mushroom fabrics I've collected in the little like 2-inch blocks to create the mushroom. And the goal is to use the Ten Sister panels for that project when I get to it. I'm still having fun collecting mushroom fabric, so. Uh-oh. May have to get... I kind of bubbled this up a little bit on this side. So when I iron it, I may have to get creative in how I relax that fabric out. Although once the paper comes off, it won't be as big a deal either. But that's not pinning and just going for it. That can be sometimes what happens. That's one of the downfalls. And I just didn't ensure that it was as flat as it could have been. So, but that's all right. Those are the kinds of things that you're going to run into. And they're not the kinds of things that I'm going to hide. I still make those mistakes. It's what happens. But what I'll do is kind of iron out towards the side. And do I have my spray? No, it's packed in my Go kit. I'll probably use the Acorn Easy Press spray to spray this to get it a little bit wet to kind of shrink in a little bit, and then re-iron so it is more flat. And that'll work out just fine because it wasn't such a huge bubble. So it'll be all good. Not concerned. Hey, Marla! Oh, that's cool, yeah. To use your own fabrics, that's perfect. I think that pattern also lends itself to a lot of fun, like, Christmas fabrics. It doesn't have to just be in solids. You could definitely do some festives. Irisale lady, hello. I'm actually working on month 7 of the Color Vortex. So it's the block of the month, not the Iris. That should be shipping in the next couple of weeks too, by the end of November. But this is Color Vortex, month 7. So wow, month 7. 5 months left. So that's what I'm working up today. I have, if I can remember where I put it, started putting together the second block of building blocks of legit kits too. Oh, Jackie's waiting on Acorn to finish her building blocks. I can't wait to see that, Jackie. I'm very excited about that. I'm so happy that you were able to start it with us last weekend, and spend the week and you got it done. I'm so happy for you. Right. So untrimmed, but C5. Oop, upside down. C5. Greens up there, and this is the like extra seam allowance. So we are good to go for that chartreuse. Chartreuse? CH is chartreuse, right? Starting to get them memorized, but don't have them all. That's for sure. Oh, so pretty. All right. So this next one that is broken into littler pieces is D5. So we'll do D5. So on Wednesday night, I had a huge stack of things on this side table that I needed to organize, and I got the binder organized, and I put things in things to hold them as projects, and now I don't remember where I put those boxes to be able to show you block 2 of building blocks, which is just hysterical. Huh. She's around here somewhere. In one of those Joanne's art boxes. I will post that. I didn't get to finish. I'm 2 seams away from finishing it up, but didn't get to finish it last night. So I'll show that off. Don't know if you guys can hear my dogs snoring. It's making me laugh though. Very content little doggies. Well, neither of them are very little, but they're content. Oh, Jackie, that'll be beautiful in rainbow colors. Oh yeah, Pat, if you like to use pins, absolutely. Yep, did it not cut? Oh, it didn't cut. If you are a pinner, use your pins for sure. It's the best part about these things. You do what works for you. But I hate pins, so I will be a rebel and go for it. These are nice fall colors too. Very earthy. This reminds me of in art classes when I was younger of burnt umber. Yep, Pat, we talked about pinning earlier too. You want to make sure you try a number of different ways. And Jackie, you're gonna go back to Little Hooter. I need to start Little Hooter, but I need to finish BJ the Blue Jay before I start Little Hooter. I've got to finish BJ the Blue Jay. I'm super excited about BJ the Blue Jay because of the Kona sheen that I'm using in it, which is adding some sparkle to his feathers and his tail and wings. I think it's just the one wing that you can see actually, but I'm excited about the sheen. Hey, MJ Sews! Good morning, happy Friday, happy Veterans Day. A nice quick and easy 3-piece of fabric unit here to be sewn up into a bigger section of the block. So this is D5C. That'll eventually make up the whole entirety of D5. Nice colors. This is the bottom portion of the... Oh, it's down here for those colors. So set that aside up here and move on to D5A. Which this one's even more fun because it's only 2 pieces of fabric. So, which way did I have it set? Oh, this way. 2 pieces of fabric. There we go. And this triangle of very pumpkin-y orange, like that. This way. How did I cut it? That feels like it does it. All right. Hello to Mom and Pop Shop. Laura Lynn, hello. How are you doing this Friday? Hey, Tangled Zest. No, not late. It's like Gandalf says in Lord of the Rings. You're never late. You're always on time because you're on your time. I have those movies in my head because those were the ones I was watching to time myself doing a block on the Kraken. How many epic movies does it take to finish block C5 on the Kraken? It took me 4.5 epic movies. Oh, thank you, Tangled Zest. Yes, if you all wouldn't mind, before either right now or before you head out, we've got another hour to give a thumbs up. That is always so helpful, and I appreciate it so much. It's Tangle time. Well, I like that even better. Tangle time. All right. Nice 2-piece of fabric unit to sew up for D5. And then this is D5B. So we have A, B, and C for D5. And then D6 is B. I think it'd just be an A for 6. B, A. Yeah, it might just be B and A and B for D6. Those are the ones that I didn't get to finish all the fabric cutting, but it looks like we'll be able to do that. All right, D5, the 1, and the 1 spot is gold AU, which I love because that is its periodic table letter is AU, and that makes me giggle like a schoolgirl. I think there are, of the 2-letter Kona colors codes from Legit Kits. This is not a code that Kona would know. The Legit Kits. I think there's like 27 of the states. Fabric bingo. It does sound like that. So yeah, so almost all of the states, and Kona has, I think, 366 colors, not counting the Kona sheens, because that's another 30-ish colors. But Yeah, I wonder if we'll get some of the new ones. Like Hawaii is still missing, and there's definitely going to be some good like corally colors that could go for Hawaii HI. That'd be fun. But yeah, that also becomes a game. What are the new colors going to be? This down. This way or this way? This way. Yeah. There we go. So the folks that are joining us, what are you all working on today? And is it rainy and dreary where you are? It is a dreary day here in Maryland today. Still raining. Started yesterday afternoon. Still going today. Ooh, these colors, these browns and kind of orangey browns. This reminds me of apple pie, cinnamon and apple, or like mulled apple cider. Which I still haven't used my mulling spices that I got from North Carolina. Maybe we'll make a trip up to the orchard up the road and grab some apple cider. Cloudy. Yeah. Ooh, working on a log cabin. Yeah, that's a great smell to have going in the house. The mulling spices with the orange peel. Oh, it's good. Heartwarming kind of smell. The darker days around this time of year isn't, not exactly ideal. But the the foods and the smells of baking and cooking different things sure is fun. Makes it a lot easier to get over how dark it is all the time. Light rain and dreary in Texas too. And it's sunny where you're at, Tango Zest. Oh, you're expecting overcast. Has it been really hot and dry? Yeah. So this is, welcome weather for sure. Scrappy 4-patch for Around the World quilt. Oh, that is awesome. Love those. Oh, Marla had a cider press down the road as a kid. You ride your bikes down to pit. That's a fun memory. Oh, that's a sweet memory too, Orlin. That's sweet. It's like when I was selling the house before moving up here, the agent was saying, you know, when we're going to have a show, because you know they knew that I had gone to culinary school. They said have something having had been just baked or baking when people come in to see it. So like an apple pie or chocolate chip cookies, things that invoke the feeling of home and like those memories. And I thought that's such a good marketing ploy. It made so much sense to me. Because then they can like picture themselves having those family moments in the house. Oh, Dale says that's funny. I still haven't done those bonus blocks in the so yeah friends box. I'm bad. Yay! We've coined the phrase tangle time. I love it. We're doing it on tangle time. Oh, those are good. Those are good candles to have burning. Yes. My favorite is balsam pine. Oh, thank you. We actually the ironing board cover. The board we actually made at Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. Stephanie's retreat in Walnut Park, Pennsylvania. We made it at the Nut House. uh, Stephanie had done a quick YouTube tutorial on how she does her portable on the go, really good for retreat ironing boards, and we opened it up to everybody. We asked Stephanie if it was okay, if we could do that as like an optional side project, and it was a lot of fun. We brought the wood. Ingrid brought the wood, and yeah, this is the it's canvas fabric on top, which I think is a lot of fun. And we had ironing board fabric underneath, so it like reflects back up at you. It's it irons flat. It's really good. It holds the heat really well. And if you like your Acorn Easy Press, very popular Canadian product, and a clapper, you get insanely flat seams. That was a fun memory making project to do at the retreat. Oh, you thought you thought it took 11 months to get it. Yeah, that would be a long time. Very patient wait. piece for D5B. Trim it up a little bit so we don't have quite so much. And I am often, you'll see me often using scissors for these because of the very big push and how much I really feel strongly about starting all of this quilting with what you have. And if you just have a pair of scissors and you're just starting out and you haven't even gotten a rotary cutter yet, that's not going to hold you back. You can do all the cutting you need to do with that pair of scissors. If you just have a ruler and you don't have an add-a-quarter ruler, that's not going to hold you back. You're still going to be able to make gorgeous FPP blocks. You'll be able to make a gorgeous traditional piecing. All good. Oh, the Sophie alarm. MJ So says, I always think it's kind of funny that we want our seams flat but our quilts poofy. Isn't that funny? That is. I hadn't even thought about that. That is that is funny. Yeah, I'm probably so stressed out about keeping these seams so flat that it probably, in the long run, doesn't really matter. Though I'm guessing for long arming, the flat seams probably is very nice. I do a lot of straight like matchstick quilting, so I don't deal with bulky seams all that much that way. But I'm sure for like edge to edge and stuff, it's probably, woo. Yes, I think everybody quickly ends up getting getting a lot of the whole setup, but yeah, you gotta start with where you're at. And if you're like me, when I started this 3 years ago, I thought this would be another flash in the pan kind of passing craze of mine, like trying to redo learning how to play the violin and trying to redo becoming an artist, all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, I don't know how long I'm going to keep my interest in quilting. So I didn't start off with all of the stuff. Now, 3 years later, and I'm an absolute lunatic and I have all the things. Alright, there we go, D5B. All the pieces are together. And we'll end up working it all in. Oh, I can't. There we go. Let's do this. Move this up. Working those all in. We'll get them trimmed up and put together. Do I go to cutting the fabric of D6 or trimming D5 and putting it together? I think trimming D5 and putting it together. I think that's what I want to do. Because I don't know if I've shown putting sections, building the different sections to build a block to completion. I don't know if I've shown that before. It really is it's a great community, it's a great craft, it's just a lot of fun. Oh, flipping the table around so you're not facing the wall. Yeah, I really like, I did take over the living room, but I felt so lonely being upstairs all the time. So I do like that I'm facing the living room where folks might be watching TV and I feel like I'm a part of the family again. And then I also get to see out the back door and see all of like the groundhogs and the little bunnies and all the beautiful birds. I do like that a lot. Yep, it does depend on the space you have. Absolutely. There are some amazing YouTubers out there who have done great videos on maximizing the space you have, and I enjoy watching those. They give me some great ideas. Oh, Marla, is that right that garment sewing isn't as expensive? I don't know. I love watching the Great British Sewing Bee, but I don't know necessarily what all the things are that they use. Yes. Yeah, Laura, I agree with that. The gadgets make it adds to the efficiency, like how smoothly you can do things, how quickly you can do things. So as you kind of get the basics down of, the not the rules. I don't believe in rules, but the basics of any of the techniques that you're going to be doing. Once you get those basics down, then you can start trying out the different gadgets that they promote specifically for whichever of those techniques. And then you work to see what works for you. Because some of them will work for you in the way your brain works, and some of them won't. Which is why there's such a wide variety of types of rulers, types of templates, types of rotary cutters, because we're also individual. You gotta try it out. There we go. There's the first one all trimmed and purty. We'll say that that's why having a community, like a shop that you can go into, a local shop, or a community of also quilters, is a luxury, because you can try out some of these tools and gadgets at a different class or at a different retreat before you buy it to see if it's going to work for you. And I realize how lucky I am to have all of those very close to me. Stores, retreats, things like that. Before rotary cutters. Can you imagine, like, if there was, time travel, and a a quilter of old decided that they wanted to travel to the future to see what this necessity, because it was, some done for artistry, but a lot of it was done for utility. See where it has been. Can you imagine their mind blown by the gadgets that we have? I mean, I guess that's true of every job, every craft, everything. But it would be kind of fun. We have rulers and templates. We don't have to recreate templates on pieces of cardboard or something. They're just hard acrylic, plasticky. Keep them forever. Yes, I am a go-go gadget gal. That is true. Yeah, the cardboard patterns, man. And they would never, because, I mean, I could just see you're trying to be so accurate, and then you're trimming away the smallest pieces of those cardboard templates each time you do it. So no pieces are ever the same. I do, yeah. The online communities are fantastic, and I wouldn't trade them for the world because I'm a homebody. I like being at home, but the being able to go and try get your hands on before you buy, that is kind of it's a nice to have. It is not a need to have. It is a nice to have, and I am spoiled with that variety in where I'm at. But not everybody has that, which is why I think it's really important, and it has been very nice to see so many YouTubers talking about, you know, again, starting with where you are, starting with what you have. Starting with what you use. Like, I have the at a quarter rulers and I've used them, and if it's on the table I'll use it, but I never think to pull it out. Maybe if I only did FPP, like that was all I did, and it would be on my table all the time, I would have a different feeling about that. But I don't use the at a quarter in traditional piecing and doing like cotton cuts. I don't need to have the at a quarter. So I never have it. Like, they're hanging behind me, but I never have them just boom here. So I don't really think of using them. And a gadget's only useful if you use it. Yeah, Marla, see that's awesome too, that you like pay it forward. You tried it, didn't like it. Now you're going to give someone else the opportunity to see if maybe it works for their style. I like that. And again, that's what's so great about this community. Like, they were just always looking to help each other out. Hey, Del Marie. Oh wow, Ingrid, that's cool. Have you like scanned them in to your computer too, so you'll have that stuff? See, everything goes back to some kind of technology in my head. All right. So there we go. D5B, all trimmed up and pretty. Yes, cat sprinkles everywhere. Bass drop hair. Like that. I know it looks weird. It looks like it's never going to fit because it's hanging over. Trust the process. It'll fit. Woo, so pretty. So you might notice up here, because I tend to be super frugal with my fabric, and I will allow some selvage to happen. Some of the selvage from, I'm pretty sure this is gold, from AU. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the dots from the needling of the selvage is here, but this is in the seam allowance. So because I'm so frugal, cheap, cheapskate, I want to make sure I have enough, all the fabric I can left over. I will be okay with it being in the seam allowance. I am not okay with it being in the body of the, like this piece 5. I'm not okay with the seam allowance being in here. Just like I wouldn't be in traditional piecing, but I'm okay with it in the seam allowance. So, if you see that, or if you end up having that, don't, that is a-okay. I'm not saying don't do it, because I do it too. Because I really do like to keep as much fabric as possible. Let's see. I remember when I first saw the rotary cutting. Oh, that's cool, Taylor's asked. Oh, thank you. That is good pattern writing. To see all of the, I just love FPP for that. I think you'd said that earlier, that you love FPP for how crisp these come together. It makes me so happy. And now we just got to work to make sure it comes together, and when we put these together. Oh yeah, Katie Crafts, the block locks. Yep. Yeah, I have those too, and I don't really use them. Though I have been using Soviet Quilts, which is Fallon on here on YouTube. Her trim locks I will use to trim half square triangles all day long. That works for my head. Oh, Jackie, thank you. That is like the best. Uh, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's just the best thing to hear, that I help somebody feel comfortable with FPP. Paper is an old and reliable technology. Not so sure about Windows. I hear ya. All right, so I am going to put these two pieces that on the table look like they should not have any business coming together. I'm going to put them together and show you the legit kits way. This is where I will do some pinning. Maybe not when it's just me and I'm okay with pulling things apart and redoing it. But I want to show, where am I? Oh, here. I want to show the right way to do it so that you get as close to perfection as you can. I'm going to pull out some Wonder Clips. Just a couple. Like that. And then I'm going to pull down a couple of pins to show a couple of different ways to do that too. And there we go. So, the Wonder Clip way is, so with legit kits, they have these magic white lines which help with lining up your corners. Edges. I think edges is better. But what you'll have to do sometimes, because it depends on what you're sewing together, which white line you're actually going to be using. So like for this one, I'm lining up the straight across on the top side of TC. Then when we're sewing again later on, like putting the blocks together, I would be sewing across this side for TC. So it takes a little while to play around to determine which one you're lining up. And I actually might have that incorrect when I'm looking at this back end side. The awesome part about using Wonder Clips, not pins, is as you're lining these up and you're trying to get them, oh, maybe it'll show a little bit better here on the back side, because you can see this showing on the other side. So though this is lined up with this 1/4 inch lined up there, I'm going to put my Wonder Clip right on the line, right on the 1/4 inch line of where it should land on both sides. And that looks, I don't know if you can see. Oh, there we go. Looks really good. Right on the 1/4 inch. Right on the 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to work my way down to the end. Line it up. Yeah, see this side, you don't even have to worry about, is it lining up for this block or is it lining up for the next block? This side of these two sections is only for this sew. So these white lines go across this triangle, and that looks really good. So I'm going to put my Wonder Clip right on the 1/4 inch. Right on the 1/4 inch on this side too. Can you see? Scooch it over. Can you see? And then I'm concerned about, I'm not concerned in a, I'm concerned because I'm nervous way, but this is the area of, that you want to pay attention to. So I'm concerned about it because this is a section I want to pay attention to, making sure I'm getting these points really well. So I'm going to put another Wonder Clip right there and make sure that they are lined up nicely. And the fun part about using the Wonder Clip, and if you liked to pin, you could do with smaller pins too, but again, I hate pins and I love Wonder Clips. So we're going to make sure that it's flat. And then when I fold this back, you should be able to see, can you see? What angle is going to, oh, maybe this angle will be better. That, where that Wonder Clip is holding it, the orange, the more pumpkin-y orange lines up, and this gold color lines up. So laying the Wonder Clips right on that seam allowance lets you fold it back. If you're using these the little pins with the smaller pin heads, you can do, this way, smaller pin heads, you can do that also if you like to pin. If you use the ones, they have like the flowers, those are a little too wide, so if you're doing it right in the seam allowance, it doesn't allow you to fold the paper back to check it out the same way doing it with either the smaller head pins or the Wonder Clips let you do. So now we're going to lay this down and start sewing and hope that I've done it right. What am I missing? Oh, thank you. I'm trying very hard. Oh, Marla, have fun cutting kindling. Today is definitely a fire day. Ooh, I wonder if we'll fire up the fire pit in the backyard. Maybe make some s'mores. Oh, there we go. Got my Wonder Clip caught on a corner. Alright. Okay, moment of truth. Can you see it? It's not ironed yet, so it's got a little bit of a lip, but that is... Oh, look at how pretty it is. I hope you can see that. That was very satisfying. Yes, drum roll, please. Super satisfying when it works like that. Especially live on camera when you're trying to show that you know what you're doing. So, pull off the papers. So this is the only time that I will pull the papers off while sewing up all of Vortex. So all of the blocks that I've sewn together for the rest of Vortex still have the main body pieces of paper in them to help when I'm putting the quadrants together. Once I get the final seams done, then I'll start taking out all of the inside papers. But these seam allowance sections, I take them out now. Yes, yay! So exciting! All right. And when I'm putting these sections together within the body of the block, I will, for the most part, and there are times, and it's not a hard, fast rule, so it's whatever is working for you. There are times that I will iron one side or the other, especially if one of the sections, because sometimes these sections have like 6 pieces coming together at all of this one spot, and then the piece that you're sewing it together is one straight piece. So much like in traditional piecing, where you may choose to iron over to the side that has the less bulk, rather than flipping those 6 pieces of fabric back onto themselves to make that an even thicker area. Even here on these blocks, if it were more pieces, I may choose to do the same thing. This one, though, and more often than not, I will iron all of the sections open within each block. And definitely block to block and row to row. Yep. So I'm gonna go iron it down on one side, and then come back over, and I'm holding the paper taut and the fabric underneath of it taut, but not pulling so hard that I'm pulling papers off or stretching the fabric out in any weird way. So you just want to hold it gently and taut enough that you're not going to get a bubble or like a uneven direction of where your fabric's going on the other side. But yeah, you don't want to like stretch out your fabric either. That's a nightmare. And there we go. Open it up. And then sometimes, where these pieces of fabric are coming together, you gotta have a strong conversation with them sometimes to get them to lay down. And that's where those pieces are coming back onto each other. Let's flip her over and see. And what I've found, this is a good hack, I guess. Sometimes if your points aren't coming together as nicely as you would like them to, sometimes, depending on how you iron your seams, can take care of that for you. Because if you iron it over to one side, then it's pulling the top, the face up part, closer to that other side. I don't know if that makes sense. But you can, if you're not happy with where those come together, if you maybe do the seam not open, pulled to another side, it will make the top of the fabrics pull towards the side that you want them to make it look perfect, make those points come together perfectly. That might be something you have to play around with. I don't know that I explained that all that well. It's just something that I've found over my time doing this, that I can sometimes cheat fate that way. I loved, so that's where, that is, and I'm really glad that, I really don't know that we've gotten to this point where I've put them together live on on camera. That is the most difficult part. After getting over the fear and the shock of seeing all of the fabric that comes in one of the kits, after getting over that and getting it organized, and then you feel a lot more confident because you're only working one section at a time. That's all you have to look at, and it's all that you have hands-on, tangible. Putting the sections together and putting the units together into sections and putting the sections together into the block. That's the next scary bit. I know tons of people that have great success using pins. Pins, just, I use them when I have to, and I have found times where I absolutely would want to use pins. But for me, using the Wonder Clips and lining them up, and being able to fold the piece over to audition it has worked out really, really well, and has made getting my points like this more reliable over time. But it is a skill that you build. The first couple of times, the first 15, 20 times I did it, I ripped out a lot of stuff that I wasn't happy with because, one, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and two, it was new, and I wasn't good at it. I wasn't sure how to line the things up, and I didn't have all of the different tools and tricks in my own personal toolbox to help me get it lined up well. And this magic clip portion of the hints and tips has been what's worked for me. So I want you to watch as many YouTube channels as you can. Come back and ask me questions anytime. My email is always in the description box below. I want this to be fun and non-stressful as much as possible. And I want you to be able to give yourself the grace to know that you're learning. And it's, like the Quilting Marine says, it's just fabric and it's just thread. I 100% agree with that. But I also know that striving for the perfection is also a part of what makes it fun for me. So being able to share those kinds of tips and tricks makes this such a good time for me. Cool. So, all right, I'm super happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll do this bottom part, and then I'll acorn easy press all of the seams at the same time. This one is going to be a little less daunting because it's straight, it's not an angle. So you know that's what you're aiming for, is the straight lines to line up across both sections. So this one's going to be a little less scary to put together. You're very welcome. But I will do the same. I will use my Wonder Clips. Make sure that is lined up where I want to see it. You do on the ends, well, depending on the end you are going to start sewing on, want to give yourself enough space to get your needle in that, in here without bumping into the Wonder Clip. You just want to give yourself the space to do it, so that you can get your first couple of stitches, like that foundation couple of stitches, and not have to move anything around, like pulling the Wonder Clip out too soon, which might make it change further down. So let's make sure that is, yep. And then down here on the end where you're getting to last with the sewing, that doesn't matter as much. I will pull it all the way down to the end, just to be sure. I think a cat is snoring now too. Very content animals today. Alright, so this is going to be where these three pieces come together. It's going to be one of the sections that we're going to want to look at because it will meet these two pieces. Oh, I think I'm doing that too low again. So these two pieces are coming together where these three pieces are coming together. So I'm going to be intentional on where I'm putting this Wonder Clip. where those are going to meet. And I'm playing a little bit with the fabric, with the line up in the back, because it wasn't quite on the 1/4 inch seam. And then this might be a little more difficult. So because of how skinny this strip is, it might be a little more difficult to cleanly see when I flip this back. Oh, I might add another one lower down. I'm going to try it with the skinny part up first, and we'll flip it if it doesn't work out. Try it with a longer piece on top. But let's see if we can roll this back. No, I don't think it's going to work as well with the skinny strip up top. Let's try it this way. Try to flip the larger piece back. And it may just not cooperate because it really is a skinny spot. Here we go. This is the part that I'm most worried about. Yeah. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now I'm talking the paper into folding a little bit. There we go. So I feel like this should come down, just from experience, I feel like this should come down a smidge. It's feeling like it's a little bit too far this way to where it's catching more of this cinnamon color than the brown. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull this a little more, and this is if you've done garments, or if you've done any curves or anything where you're easing things in, this is where I'm going to ease this a little back to ease this a little more in, and it's just like the slightest little push in. If you've done curves, you definitely know, or if you've done bags where you're like easing around the corner, the rounded bits of bags. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm easing the fabric in, convincing it of where I want it to go. So there we go. We're gonna try it out. Oh, I've got a notification on my computer that's blocking the chat. Isn't it Tangle's ass? That is such a good mantra to have in your head, to just give yourself some patience and grace in what it is you're doing. Just fabric, just thread. Have a good time. Remember, it's okay to step away from it if it's really upsetting you. Take a moment away from it. There we go. Let's see how my convincing of the fabric went. So, acceptable. I think it's still pulling a little more into the cinnamony red than I might prefer in my little perfectionist heart. But I think once we get the seams open, I think it'll be okay. I'm not hating it completely. It's not something that I would go, oh, I have to rip that out and do it again. I have a 3 rip out rule. If something is so off that I will see it, even when nobody else might see it, I will attempt to fix it. I will rip it out 3 times. My friend, the seam ripper, and I will work at it 3 times. And after the 3rd time of sewing it together, or I guess the 4th time of sewing it together, after the 3rd rip, if it's still not cooperating, it's still ending up where it was ending up, or still not as close as I would really, really hope it to be, then that is the way nature intended it. The fabrics had gotten together and had a conversation and decided that that's where they wanted to be, and then that's where they're going to end up, and I will let it go. There just has to come a time when you're just like, okay, I can't do this anymore, or you're never going to get it done. But I think, like we were talking about, depending on how you iron it out, I think ironing these flat will give me closer to the point perfection that I'm looking for. It's close. So let's do that. Let's work on it back here to open it up. Am I the only one that swears the fabric talks to itself? Plotting against me sometimes. Sometimes deigning to allow me to feel greatness. See, on this back side, it looks like those browns are coming together in a really good point. So let's see if opening up the seams is getting it closer to what I want it to be. Ooh, it's really hot. So I still think there's a little convincing to do, and I think the Acorn Easy Press will help with that convincing. But overall, I definitely feel like opening the seam was still a little hot. If you can see, opening the seam made it closer, and I'm pretty happy with that now. So that's where ironing the seam one way or the other can really play a difference in the finished look on the top. But I do think adding the Easy Press will relax it a bit and let me iron it even flatter and more open. So that's what I'm going to try here. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yes. Oh, look at that. We are right at time. All right. Well, I'll get this ironed. And again, I say iron because I'm not a presser. I'm a healthy ironer. But yeah, I think that's worked out wonderfully. Happy to end on a happy note. Here we go. So that is D5 altogether. Awesome. Pretty. I still have to iron this one out, but all right. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to switch the angle so I can thank everybody. You have to listen to the fabric. Sometimes you do. It tells you what it wants sometimes. But thank you all so much for spending your Friday morning with me. A little Friday brunch. I appreciate you so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday. I hope that you will join us tomorrow night on Stephanie's channel to sew up the Village Green. It's Clue 10. It's the end. I know folks have finished there, so I'm hoping we're going to get to see some finished tops. I'm going to be working on the rows of Village Green. Yeah, another fun adventure with everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. And then Sunday I'll be back again for Sunday brunch, where I will be working on the 4S collaboration, so more Christmas blocks, which will be a lot of fun. I have all of the fabrics cut out for that, so it'll just be sewing together. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.